Hi everyone, welcome to This Week in Markets. So I'm Brad McFadden. With me we have Matt and Jeff.
Hello there.
Hello.
Today we're going to debate the debacle developing in the US.
Oh, yes.
Developing, continuing, never-ending debacle in the US.
Gentlemen, what do we do? Seriously, what do you think we should do? Okay, we've got positions on, etc., etc. What should we do?
Well, what's the market telling us? What are we seeing there?
Well, we know the market's pretty cool. It says, what the hell? Idiots in Washington, no problem. No big deal.
I think last week we said the market was kind of preferring that there wasn't a government.
Yes.
Not so strong on that front this time, but it hasn't collapsed. It seems...
Well, there's nothing... we've had a bit of weakness in the market, but nothing out of the ordinary. It just like drifts down a bit.
We've had a couple of nights of 1% drops in the market in the last week.
What I'm noticing, if I look at the banter, the articles coming out, it's like every second article, big showdown US next week, etc., etc.
Are we going to default?
Are we going to default? I mean, default is like every third word type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the feeling that everyone is starting to anticipate a default. Yeah, and sort of ready themselves for a default.
That's how the headlines read, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
That's sort of the lineup for this fight, for this battle.
Exactly. I mean, volatility, the cost of options is increasing quite a lot, but
Yeah.
markets haven't really changed that much. So,
Is that something you would trade for, or you would take that as a signal from the market to say everyone thinks this is going to happen, so it's probably not going to happen?
look, for me, one of the big things is liquidity. If liquidity starts drying up, I'll be a little bit worried about what happens in the next maybe 3 or 4 months, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, as strange as it may seem, if everyone's starting to anticipating a default, if the US does default, it might not be such a big thing. I know it's off the wall, it's weird, it's really contrarian.
Because everyone expects it to happen. If it does, well, that's what we expected.
Yeah, told you so.
No great surprise.
Yeah, no great surprise. Yeah.
Is that something you would trade for, or would you just?
Well, look, man. I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm rushing headlong. Yeah. I'm continuing to look for deep value situations globally where I can get an asymmetric payoff, and quite frankly,
So your trading strategy hasn't changed.
Nothing's changed. Right? And if I find good value situations and I can get long-term options on, I will buy, and I don't care what happens next week. All right, I will. Well, within reason, yeah, I will continue to look for those opportunities.
Because you can hold those positions
Yeah.
if the market has big swings.
If the vol is cheap enough, that's the biggest catch there.
Okay.
The key to a strategy, a long-term strategy, particularly with options, is not running out of time.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Correct.
So you'd be looking at the long end.
That's where
long options.
everyone sort of comes unstuck with options. Often they run out of time. So lots of time. I'm getting Jan 16s coming on board now. We have more Jan 16s coming out at the end of next week.
Okay. This is.
And man, I mean,
next
I would
cycle.
like. Yeah, be careful what you wish for, but I would like between now and the end of next week
A bit of downside,
Yes.
or quite a bit of downside.
5% downside, 10% downside in the S&P, so I can get some Jan 16 options on cheap stocks at good prices, providing the vol, of course, doesn't go up too much.
Yeah.
Which
Of course, if a lot of our viewers, people I talk to, quite concerned. I do get that feeling that people are nervous out there.
Oh yeah, well that's
if
great.
you've used a lot of leverage.
Well, that's a different story. Leverage is going to get you, or even get me. I mean, what knows what happens in the short term? Who knows? But good point you bring up, because a lot of people I talk to, it's like, wow, we're sort of just waiting on the sidelines, waiting to see what's going to happen. Yeah, it's like, well.
So it's hard not to get caught up in these times.
You know,
From
it's
my
easy.
experience
It's
as well,
easy
it's
not
hard
to,
not to
it's
get caught
easy
up
not
in
to
it.
get caught up, because you just don't listen. You don't read the crap coming out. Seriously, you just stay focused on looking at charts, at looking at the cost of options, looking at fundamentals.
Is there a particular sequence of charts that you'd be looking at? That you'd be...
At the moment, really, it's looking at behaviour of junk grade bonds relative to investment grade corporate bonds.
Okay.
And they're not breaking out, they're not blowing out.
Absolutely not.
No, it's all fine. So we're going through a real weird time. I'm trying to pay too much notice to all the banter out there. I just take a bit of a note every now and then. And I'm continuing to look for deep value situations globally where I can get an asymmetric payoff buying long-term options and got longer-term time frame everyone else, and they bring it on, I say. I'm excited.
Bring on the crash.
Bring it on. No, let's not have a crash, mate. But some downside would be good, I think. shake some more weekends out of the market. There we are. It's the week that was, and the week is going to be developing next week. Good luck. McFadden out.
It's bye for me.
And bye from me.